happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. No, you guys could probably already tell. It is going down. Just by that title alone, definitely going to see this one. As we got JD Vance back at it again, guys. He's demolishing more of these gaslighting reporters. I'm not sure when they'll learn that JD Vance simply is not that guy. And what I mean by not that guy, I mean he is not that guy to be messed around or played with. JD Vance is simply on a warpath of destruction with these reporters, guys. I'm excited to get into it, so we're not straight into it. Just make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we even get into it, you guys hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button for your boy. Without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
My job is to figure out how we can best respond to these threats. And unfortunately, thanks to Kamala Harris's leadership, we're in a much weaker space vis-a-vis Russia than we were 3.5 years ago.
I want to ask you about polling and where we are in this campaign.
Sure.
Former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney called you and Donald Trump misogynistic pigs. She urged voters to look at what you have said in the past, and she said of you personally, quote, "You've got a real women problem." Do you think your ticket has a women problem?
No, I don't think that we do, but we have to make our best case to women and to men as well as we can. And of course, women and men are going to decide where the chips ultimately fall. I think it's a more interesting reflection of Kamala Harris's campaign that at this late stage, she's not talking about how she can lower the price of groceries because she raised the price of groceries. She's not talking about how she can lower the price of housing because her policy saw a 40% increase in the cost of housing. She's going to Michigan with Liz Cheney, the person whose father is responsible for the deaths of millions of innocent Arabs and tens of thousands of innocent American troops, and saying effectively that if you elect me, I'm going to have the foreign policy of Dick and Liz Cheney. I don't think that message is going to fly in Michigan. I don't think it flies in Pennsylvania either.
They've actually not been talking about foreign policy. They've been talking about things you've been saying. They've been talking about the threats to our democracy. But
Liz Cheney's definitely been talking about foreign policy, Margaret. She loves to talk about how she...
Listen to Margaret off top trying to guess like, oh, they haven't been talking about that. They've actually been talking about you and the way you're a threat. You and your running mate are a threat to democracy. I mean, come on, you guys. Off the top, she stumped. Already stumped. Look at her face.
About foreign policy. They've been talking about things you've been saying. They've been talking about the threats to our democracy. But
Liz Cheney's definitely been talking about foreign policy, Margaret. She loves to talk about how she would like to start wars with effectively every country all over the world. But Donald Trump is the candidate of peace, but I think they are talking a lot about foreign policy.
On the topic, though, of how the campaign is doing, our CBS polling shows a significant gender gap here. 40% of women say the Trump campaign is paying too much attention to men's concerns. 56% of women say the Trump campaign is paying too little attention to women's concerns. You say one of your top advisors is your wife.
I'm not sure where they're getting that polling from, but I mean, Trump's plans, to reduce prices at the grocery store, to seal up our southern borders, I feel like that benefits the whole nation, our whole country. It just doesn't make sense where they're saying that Trump's only appealing to, men. His campaign, his policies benefits America as a whole. Safety of our country, being able to afford things. I mean, what is Margaret sitting up here trying to gaslight the viewers to believe? That doesn't make sense to me.
Much attention to men's concerns. 56% of women say the Trump campaign is paying too little attention to women's concerns. You say one of your top advisors is your wife, Usha.
Yeah. The top advisor.
So what is she telling you? Because the data says you do have a women problem.
Well, what she's telling me is we got to make the case to women as well as we can and ultimately trust in the wisdom of those women to make a determination about what's in the best interest of their family. All I can say to women voters, and frankly to men voters too, but to all Americans is I think that Donald Trump is the person who's going to lower the cost of groceries. I know that Donald Trump is the person who's going to secure the southern border. Donald Trump has a plan to open up American energy, to lower the cost of goods, and to make our neighborhoods and communities safer. I know a lot of women care a lot about the safety of their communities. What does it say about Kamala Harris's leadership that violent crime has gone up? What does it say about the fact that fentanyl overdose deaths have increased under her leadership? I think that we can make a good case to women, but I'm not going to tell them who they have to vote for. I'm going to try to persuade them. The voters are ultimately going to decide.
Come on now, that's JD Vance. I can't just tell you who to vote for, but I mean, I will let the voters, I'll make a very strong case for my side. Unlike those on the other side of the aisle, we see Barack Obama literally coming out scolding black men, saying, hey, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. If you're out here seriously considering voting for the other side, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I mean, come on, you guys. JD Vance is a true class act. Let them think for themselves.
Overdose deaths have increased under her leadership. I think that we can make a good case to women, but I'm not going to tell them who they have to vote for. I'm going to try to persuade them. The voters are ultimately going to decide.
You took a vow, first as a Marine and then as a United States Senator, to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. Can you assure the American people that you will do everything you can to stand by that and to make sure that President Trump abides by the Constitution?
Of course, but I don't worry about Donald Trump. I think that Donald Trump believes in the Constitution. It's why he's running for president a third time, is because he's worried that Kamala Harris has broken the greatest economy in the world, and
He's
Donald
talked
Trump
about suspending
will fix
it, the January 6th events. I don't have to retread the territory.
Every single time JD Vance starts speaking highly on Donald Trump, we got Margaret. Got to remind him, hey, you got to remember how he's a bad guy. Starts fear-mongering the viewership, saying, hey, this guy is the same one who essentially tried to end democracy. I mean, cut it out. This narrative, that rhetoric has got to go. It's so old, tired, and played out. Listen to her.
Is because he's worried that Kamala Harris has broken the greatest economy in the world, and
He's
Donald
talked about
Trump will
suspending
fix
it, the January 6th events. I don't have to retread the territory you well know about challenging the certification of the
I
election.
think that Donald Trump believes in the American Constitution. I know he does. I've seen it in his actions. I've talked to him about it. But you asked about me, and personally, yes, my first loyalty is to the American people and to the United States Constitution. I think the best way to serve loyally to those people and to that Constitution is to get us back in a place where Americans can afford to live a decent life again. That's why we're running the campaign focus on the affordability of goods, American manufacturing. It's a big deal here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and certainly on securing that southern border. I think the threats to our Constitution, Morgan, I do think they're real. The threats to our Constitution come from Kamala Harris, who's saying that she wants to censor Americans instead of persuade them. Whether you agree with me or Donald Trump or disagree with us, we believe in the First Amendment. We're going to fight for your right to speak your mind and think whatever you want in the United States of America.
We are out of time, but
Oh my goodness, guys. Jade, I'm surprised you didn't cut him off when he said the real threat to our democracy is Kamala Harris trying to censor American voters instead of trying to persuade them. I mean, come on. That is a mic dropper right there. She cuts the interview after that. I already know. Listen to her, guys. Oh my goodness.
Whether you agree with me or Donald Trump or disagree with us, we believe in the First Amendment. We're going to fight for your right to speak your mind and think whatever you want in the United States of America.
we are out of time, but just to put a fine point on it, do you believe Vice President Harris, who will preside over the election certification in January, that she has the power to ask for alternate electors? Because you claimed Mike Pence did.
What I think Vice President Harris has the power to do is to enforce the Constitution. I'll leave it to her what she thinks that she has to do. But Donald Trump and I are going to win this election. He's going to be the president again, and he's going to fix what Kamala Harris has broken. And thank God for that, because I just want Americans to live a better life.
Yo, there we have it, guys. What did I say? JD Vance is simply not that guy. And I mean not that guy to be messed around with. He is truly the best spokesperson. I think one of the best spokesperson running mates that I think Donald Trump could have chosen to be standing next to him walking into that White House. He is just simply a great advocate. You know, he knows his stuff. Quick-witted. You're not going to twist him up. You're not going to spin any of his words or gaslight him into saying something that he shouldn't be saying. JD Vance is just solid in his stance, solid in his points, and that right there I can get behind, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you'd enjoy more content like this. Catch you guys on the next one. We go.